Well, good evening and welcome back, National Soccer League fans. Cloudy, overcast skies as the sun sets here in Chicago in the Pink Nightmare, looking to make it 2-2 against another division rival in back-to-back games as they host the Philadelphia Wyvern Riders, victorious on the road last week over their other division rivals, the Bloomington Hydra, and now they bring that momentum back home into their fortress here in Klein Avenue in Chicago as the sun sets on a lovely Friday night here in our first game of Week 2, kicking things off in style on the National Soccer League Network. Players making their way out onto the pitch now. Get a look at the starting lineups, hearing that there's not going to be much change from the two Week 1 approaches. There's your match winner from last week, Kylian Koenig, with a 92nd minute winner to get all 3 points. And here is the lineup again. No changes to this manager's midfield. Laurent Gauthier and Elder Toure holding it down together with David, the star of the show, man of the match performance. 2 equalizing goals to get his team level, and then Koenig finished it off. Derierson, no goal in his debut, and looking maybe to open his scoring account in front of the home crowd here. Lots of exciting build-up play with David and others, but the Wyvern Riders, after the humiliation they suffered at the hands of the Pink Nightmare last season, you'd think they need a big result here after losing in their opening match against the Thunderbirds. 2 straight match of the day kickoffs for the Wyvern Riders, and it is still Johnny Owen goal. That might be a surprise. We know he is somewhat on borrowed time given his lackluster form of late, and it did not do himself any favors last week with 3 goals conceded. Granted, can't be entirely placed on him as far as the blame goes. Other changes to speak of. Still no sign of Pedro Gomez del Sol, the free agent acquisition from the Pioneers championship winning team, who is on the bench again. Wyvern Riders didn't bring in any of their attackers despite being in a losing position last match. So maybe they'll go for it more here on the road with nothing to lose in the Pink Nightmare kickoff Week 2 in front of the home crowd in Klein Avenue. Last week's hero, David, given away immediately to the Wyvern Riders. Here's Thiago Jimenez, a polarizing player who had to really justify his rating and his contract with end product, but showed glimpses of what he can offer. Just needs to get better at translating that into real production. Here come Wyvern Riders. Speaking of production, now Gabriel Harris. It will be a Wyvern Riders corner. And granted, it's a small sample size of about 3 minutes. This is about as good as it could have started for the visitors here. Harris does well. Oh, it's always nervy. Gets a toe in. That ball can go absolutely anywhere. Hit with some power like Koenig. And it will be Nicolas El Rayo to take the resultant corner. Trying to silence the home crowd here, and Koenig's brother, Kylian, heads away. Nice touch from Jimenez, though. Inventive little move. And now he goes from range, and it's going to be off the arm of Elder Toure and a handball for the Wyvern Riders. We were missed to mention it in our pregame coverage. Of course, the Koenig brothers facing off. Kylian Koenig, a former Wyvern Rider, where his brother now replies his trade, and his move to the Pink Nightmare has come with some expectation. He fulfilled some of that last week. He had a strong season last year and scored a match winner in his Week 1 debut, so hoping for more of the same, making mom and dad proud. As here comes Yannick Ajoie from 25 yards and just flashed over the top of the goal. Never really had a chance, but it was as close as anyone has come so far. Yeah, always rising as you see there, and Pink Nightmare fans happy with what they've seen. There he is. Yannick Ajoie was the scorer of his team's lone goal. It was a penalty that was given to the Wyvern Riders in the closing stages to spoil the Thunderbirds' opening day clean sheet, and what would have been a 3-0 victory. Did see our fair share of potential problematic handball calls in Week 1 as Van Laar with a little bit of a risky pass, who was maybe the only warning sign for this otherwise solid Pink Nightmare team. Van Laar, usually so reliable between the six, abnormally shaky last week. Well, Pink Nightmare really haven't had much of any of the ball. Been forced to pin back here as Koenig goes on. Lothar Koenig, what a run! Off Van Laar, right when you need him to push behind for a corner, but a brilliant run from the elder Koenig. Lothar. Great balance and persistence to go on there. Let's fly. A decent effort required saving, and Wyvern Riders early stages have the Pink Nightmare pinned in here, but Pink Nightmare will take heart. They conceded last week first, were down for much of the game, and Wyvern Riders started similarly against the Thunderbirds. And now here comes Rival trying to mix it up. Soliman Orr, the new signing, and just didn't quite get the contact right. It needed to be perfect, and it was anything but that. A little bit of a restless attitude, though, settling in here in the evening. Kickoff in Chicago, just after 7 p.m. local time. as we transition from summer into autumn, late in August here. Sun beginning to set, but season's just getting underway. It was a magnanimous run from the Pink Nightmare to get into the playoffs after being the dead last team in the league through the opening 8 weeks. And a strong second half surge that propelled them into the playoff picture on the final day. Toure bad giveaway there. The attack was on. He's giving it away. Now there's space for Rival. Bit of skill and force backward all the way to Kylian Konish, who's there ahead of Suleiman Ur. A former Pink Nightmare player, it might be added. Turns here to Chicago after a lengthy stint with the Green Galaxy. 4 years now on the bounce, and here comes Jonas Thursson, the new boy. The swing it in, he's won a corner. Something finally for the Pink Nightmare home crowd to stand up their seats for. Look here at the save from Van Laar. Konish does really well. Technique to wrap that ball. Van Laar was alert as the corner is Voighton standing over it with Cartier in support. Not a great ball, and the Rival easily away. As far as Kylian Konish, back to Laurent Cartier. Voighton has it to his feet. Cartier, nice change of pace there. Back post for Kylian Konish, and pulled over by Oglethorpe. Best chance of the match so far, and last week's match winner nearly on the mark again there. Cartier does really well. It was a slow start for his season, a struggling week 1 debut, but he's done well there. Creates a really nice chance at another corner. Now the momentum shifts. Voighton's alone over this again. Swung into a dangerous area, and Jimenez away. Cartier on it again. Trying to create some space. Nice ball to David. It's Kochik. What a save from Oglethorpe. And off Griswold on the follow-up. Well, that's one way to silence the goalkeeping doubts. What a stop from Johnny O. Back to his old ways there. Oh, bad giveaway from Cartier. David fighting in there, but breaks for the Wyvern Riders. Counter could be on here. Taking the more pragmatic approach here in the build-up, just trying to keep the possession. Here is Lothar Konish. Little dummy feeds into Rival, trying to switch the point of emphasis on this attack. Here goes Thiago Jimenez. Beamed into Ajwa, but he's controlled it well. Here's Suleiman Ur. Ajwa. Rival. Nice ball to Jimenez. This is good build-up play. And then give it away right on cue. Gabriel Harris steps in front. Here comes David, who showed flashes of his pace last week, absolutely torching the Hydra back line. Toure. Players ahead of him to lift it into. Thursson. Nice ball. David. Here he goes. David. Nice cutback. David. Oglethorpe was panicking for a moment, but did well to keep his composure. Shows you everything there is to love about David as a player. Not afraid to try just about anything. Who else would take that kind of shot on and nearly claims his just rewards as Ajwa dispossessed again. Oh, but Suleiman Ur in the right place against his old club. What a moment this would be to grab his first goal for the club. El Rayo. Ajwa. Nice turn. Backed into El Rayo. Konish right into Elder Toure. No space on the ball. Good defending. Voightons. Back to Cartier. Reverse ball to Thursson. Tidy with his touch as well. Ball from Jonas Thursson. Voightons going to get chased, but Oglethorpe did well to get out to the very edge of his goalkeeping box there to claim that ball. Approaching the half-hour mark here. 0-0 on the scoreline. Both teams with a couple of chances and a couple of good saves. Rival. Nicolas El Rayo. Yannick Ajwa has it again. Nice ball. Rival was through and had Ajwa on the return and couldn't find him. Rival staying down. Wants the free kick. He's not going to get it as Voightons nervy ball back, and Van Laar just hits the panic button there. Thiago Jimenez. This is a good chance. Something on over. Ran into Elder Toure again, doing what he does best. Snuffs out the danger. David. So quick with the ball at his feet. Thursson, Pink Nightmare, a surge from the home crowd here, trying to motivate them forward. David and Chad Rivers in the right place at the right time. Wyvern Riders come forward again. Have looked the more threatening in recent memory, but nothing really to show for it. Rival. Good possession there. Here's Ajwa. Trying to weave his way through, and just a little greedy again from Wyvern Riders. They're trying to do too much. Pink Nightmare a little bit of the opposite, being a little bit too conservative with their build-up play. 10 minutes of play in the half. Thursson had David opted to play the safer ball back, just what I was talking about there. Cartier, not afraid to spring one forward. Konish, lovely skill. Thursson, what a strike and what a stop. That is what he brings. Fierce hit here. Gusalam nowhere near it. Great stop from Oglethorpe, who's having a strong first half. Stepping up when needed for both him and his team. Third corner of the match for Hoytons. Deeper towards Conchacao and went up and just kind of missed it. Here comes Rival on the break. Needs some help in the support. Maybe not. Nice little interchange there with Ajoie. Soliman trying to get the run on Conchacao. Couldn't do it. Big man stood his ground. Then he gave it away. Ur has it at his feet again. Ajoie giving away again. A sloppy first half for the Wyvern Riders front three in terms of possession as it goes long for Kilian Konij. Inch perfect ball from Davi. Here is the Rusin to Davi. It's nice. Davi! Off the bar! And the goal decision is no goal. Down off the crossbar onto the goal line, but did not cross. Oh, we saw it with the looping effort earlier. He's not afraid to shoot from just about anywhere, and so unlucky there. Would have been a certain goal of the week contender, maybe even goal of the season if that had found the back of the net, but just not quite. Pink Nightmare trying to get something on the score sheet before halftime. Here goes Kilian Konij, scored late at the end of last week, clipped up with the Rusin in the way by Chad Rivers. How much added time will there be? Hasn't been a lot of stoppages, just the one free kick and a couple corners. 3 added minutes. Wyvern Riders have it. Just what they want, a clean sheet and one last attack to end the half. Here goes Nicolas Alrayo. It's a nice ball from Rival. Alrayo sets his feet and scurries inside for Konij, blocked by Stuns Clyde Avenue. A scissor kick on the stroke of the second half. Yannick Ajoie with his second goal in as many games gives the visitors the lead on the cusp of halftime. Well, you can't say they haven't been pushing. It's been anyone's game, and they get one last chance and they make the most of it. Konij here gets blocked, and then I think he's going to have another try, but instead he picks his head up. Great awareness, and it's a peach of a ball. Harris just can't get across from that range. It's too good of a delivery. All Ajoie needs is any sort of a solid contact, and he got that and some to put his side into the lead here. The first time the Wyvern Riders have had a lead this season. Pink Nightmare with a real sucker punch there to end the half. They were down last week, 1-0. They've got plenty of time to respond here, but not in this first half, as there is the whistle from the referee. There it is. Sorry, it was a little bit early. Jumped the gun, and the Wyvern Riders leave it late to find the 1-0 lead away from home. Yannick Ajoie, the man whose goal is the difference, and a tough stretch here for them. This is an important lead they have. It's going to conclude our first half action. We'll be right back after a quick break on the National Soccer League Network to bring you second half coverage for our opening match of the week 2. Welcome back, National Soccer League fans. It's a 1-0 lead to the Wyvern Riders, courtesy of a late strike to end our first half from Yannick Ajoie. And looking to add to their first half cushion here on the ball again on the kickoff. Alrayo played a part. He's on the ball again here with Ruyon in support. Ruyon finding space and time inside. Has it to Rival. Nice ball to Soliman. Cartier did well there. Oh, and then hacked down by Ur. Oh, Rivers crunching challenge. I think it's going to be the initial foul from Thiago Jimenez that's punished, though. And the home team taking exception to strong tackle on the rookie here. Oh, that's an awful foul from Jimenez. The studs are up. And a fair amount of force. I think he's lucky not to see more than a yellow card there. Cartier could have been really hurt in that challenge. Lucky for him, nothing more than a knock. And Jimenez, the yellow card, as Davi can't quite get the flick on to drop for Rusin, who bit of a slower start than we might have expected after a 13-goal season. Brought in for £85 million or dollars, and no goals yet. Had a couple chances, but he's done well in terms of his link-up play. That's a lovely ball from Ajoie. Soliman checks it back to Jimenez. Could be 2, and it was off target. More frustration from Jimenez in another great position, and he can't get it on target. It's been the story of his young career so far. He's got to find a way to be more clinical. He gets into such great chances And just missing the finishing touch there again. Pink Nightmare have really struggled to possess the ball here. Deep in their own half again, Ben Lara. It's not a good clearance. Toure did well to get that farther out of harm's way. Here's Nasser Voigtens, who's been quiet so far today. David on the run now. Checks back for Cartier. Nice ball from Laurent Cartier. David to the back post to Nasser Voigtens. Is this the one? What a save from Johnny O, who's been in vintage form tonight after a tough season and a half. Nasser Voigtens, the danger man. We mentioned he's been quiet. Gets a chance here. Has a good look. That is a great stop from Oglethorpe to get down to that. Another corner. The Pink Nightmare have had 4 of them, but haven't really made them pay. The first from this side for Cartier. Swung in. Soliman well positioned to deal with that. Here's Van Gerechten. Has it to Voigtens again on the wing. Trying to get free. That's going to carry out for a goal kick off a brilliant challenge from Rio and deflecting off Voigtens last. So ends another spell of attacking chance for the Pink Nightmare, who have been frustrated here in front of the home crowd. Might have a substitution taking place now. Looks like we will. Thibaut Rouillon comes off for the Wyvern Riders, and the first change of the day for Juan Ocampo. Bit of an interesting choice, taking off a more conventional defensive left back for the more attack-minded Ocampo. Maybe they want to strike while the iron's hot. We do have the 1-0 lead still intact as we approach the hour mark here in Klein Avenue, Chicago. Our opening match from week 2 will have our match of the day for you later tonight. Another late show for the Pioneers in the Terminators battle. 2 winning teams in the NSC South. Should be a real fun tilt up next for you in just a little while, but all eyes focus on this one for now as Olival dances his way through a couple challenges. That's good skill. Lothar Koenig gave it away, but bounced kindly back to the Wyvern Riders. Here's Olival. Good feet again. Soliman Or against his own club and his own teammate in the way. Yannick Ajoie offside. Blocks the shot as Ur nearly found the back of the net. Would have backed him to do so from this position. It's a good strike, but unfortunate timing for the forward trying to get out of the way, as you can see. Pink Nightmare running out of time to find an answer here, and they might have one from the substitutes bench as Nico comes off for Davi. Interesting change, taking off their spark plug, as they call him on offense. But Nico, again, former highly rated talent in this league, has been relegated to a bench role only because of the meteoric rise of Davi, so maybe looking to reignite his old spark here. Koenig, lovely sweeping ball across the field to Craner, who brings it down wonderfully but then gives it away. We got a little casual there as El Rayo lifts one in for Juan Ocampo. Loves to get forward, as we mentioned. Ocampo hoists one in, and Craner away, and then off Koenig. This is a bit shaky again from the Pink Nightmare at the back. Nico, first touches to Killian Koenig, who's running out of room here. Able to keep it in. Cartier has had a tidy day so far. Rusin has it. Trying to thread a pass in behind, but well defended by Thiago Jimenez. Here is Soliman. The Riders have the lead still intact, and they look in a real comfortable position at the moment. Here's Koenig. Oh, good skill from Lothar Koenig as well. Dishes to El Rayo. On the wing again. Here is Koenig. Cuts inside. Might have a go here, and Harris gets in the way. And again, a little bit greedy from the Wyvern Riders attackers. Rusin pokes it out to Koenig. Here's Nico. Home crowd trying to stay positive here, but they're running out of time. Harris. Need to take some more risks in the build-up, and that's not going to do it. Off target from Nico. Fine balance between taking risks and being risky. Ajoie on the ball again here. Just under 20 minutes to play plus added time. Been a bit of a slow burner here, but we could be in for a heated finale as Harris wipes out Rival. Another yellow card, second of the match. And it was a bit of a frustration foul, and the frustration continues to grow. The shutout is mounting here at Klein Avenue. Oh, that's an awful tackle from Harris. He's nowhere near it. Bastiens comes on for Thurusen, a disappointing home debut again. Rival making way for Klibovics. Now the Wyvern Riders trying to shore things up with a more defense-minded midfielder. But they've got a free kick in a threatening position here for Ajoie, with El Rayo joining him. Now leaves it for Yannick Ajoie from distance, and again it's a similar result, closer, but still not really troubling Ben Lahr in the Pink Nightmare goal. See what he's trying to do, trying to just pop it over the wall and knuckle it. Flummox the goalkeeper, but hasn't really come off today. And Jonas Thorierson has come off another slow start to his life as a Pink Nightmare player. Bastian's is another quality option off the bench, but they lose out again here in their own half. El Rayo can be quite twitchy with the ball. Here's Ajoie. Nice cutback. Koenig going to line up, and Van Laar has to palm it behind. And the frustration continues to grow here. Turning on each other now as Koenig allowed far too much time and space. You could argue from a Pink Nightmare perspective they don't mind allowing chances of shots from outside the box, but you're losing. It's not been the response they were hoping for in front of the home crowd. Here's a short corner to Raul Osborne. Oh, that's lovely. Osborne again. Time to think about opening it up here with Soliman. Quick tempo to the passing. Here's Kilbovics. El Rayo. Nice ball. Koenig on the turn and wildly off target. Well, the Wyvern Riders are working the Pink Nightmare backline really well here, but you keep wondering, they haven't put this second goal away in the second half. Will they live to rue that mistake with just over 13 minutes to play? I have another substitution here. We do. It's the final change of the day for the Wyvern Riders. A defensive change, freshening it up. Ismail Gujalam, who's been excellent at the back so far today, comes off for second-year pro, and Matias Zimbabwe has become a regular off the bench for this team, seen as the eventual heir apparent to Chad Rivers, the 19-year-old. Pink Nightmare have really not had a lot of promising possession in an attacking sense, and that's continued up to the 80th minute here. They still search for a way forward. That's a clever ball from, oh, lovely from Bastians. Cartier lifts it in for Nico. Is this the moment for the Pink Nightmare? Nico drives it. Maybe took it a little early. Will it get out for a corner? No. Oh, yes, it will. Campos dragged it over the line. Lovely build-up play there for the Pink Nightmare. That was the moment. And again, Oglethorpe desperate to keep his place, knowing his job is really on the line. He is playing like it. 6 saves and a clean sheet to boot so far. Just 10 minutes to go. Can they hang on? Voigtens takes it short to Cartier. Laurent Cartier drives one in and straight to the arms of Oglethorpe. Disappointing delivery that time. Time is running out now. Oglethorpe and Co have kept it clean so far, and he's taking his time with this one. There's Raw, nice header one in the middle of the park. Artists can just try to possess this ball and see it through. Here's Kilbovics. Craner steps in. Toure back into trouble though. Bastians to Kilian Koenig. Can he be a late hero again here? Toure. Cartier. Bastians. Nice ball. Koenig couldn't find the pass through. Has it back though. Koenig. Osborne in the way. Koenig with 2 bad decisions there that might cost his team a chance at extra time here. Wyvern Riders, can they punish them and seal the deal with Ajoie, who opened the scoring at the end of the first half? Has a chance to feed it in for Kilbovics, and Harris did well in the way. Bastians. Wide to Nasser Voigtens. They need a moment of magic from someone. Voigtens has it back on the return ball. Conchicao is in an odd position here. Cartier trying to slip it through, and just, again, not quite on the same page the Pink Nightmare players. Cartier has it. Koenig. Quick tempo now. Toure trying to lift it in. Another poor choice on the attack. Conchicao stayed forward, trying to act as an auxiliary forward. Cartier gets the free kick. 2 fouls for the price of 1 there. And 5 minutes of added time. Rivers trying to settle his team down. Club captain. Well, Osborne there. A wild challenge. Cartier has seen a few of those today. Another change, and it is Cartier's last involvement. Majid Benyamina. Another last roll of the dice here for the Pink Nightmare. They need this to go in, and they need it soon. Conchicao has a powerful free kick in, and what will he do from 29 yards? Maybe go for goal. Conchicao, and it's disappointing to say the least. It's been a disappointing day for the Pink Nightmare. Looking to continue their momentum in their home opener here. It has gone not to plan. Looks like the Wyvern Riders are going to hang on here for a massive 1-0 win over a division rival here and get some critical 3 points from their opening 2 road games here. I think you would take that at the start of the season if you told them against tough opposition. As here comes Yannick Ajoie behind the back line. Craner fighting for his life. Ajoie saves, and it's a corner off of Van Laar, but it's going to be enough probably to get the Wyvern Riders home. Great play from Oswald. It's a great strike. It's a really good stop as well. Both these goalkeepers had a little bit of a sloppy week 1 performance, and they have atoned, been in fine form today. That's why the score has been so low. El Rayo trying to ice it for the Wyvern Riders in front of their rival fans. Does keep it short as we might expect. Soleimanur. No rush at all. Look at this. An excellent masterclass in time wasting from Ur here. Koenig, final minute of the 90. And Wyvern Riders just going to keep this ball and pass it around. This is smart. Not the most exciting, but it'll do it. And there is the referee's whistle. A bit of a slow burner in our opening match of week 2 here. A Yannick Ajbois goal, his second in as many games, enough to provide the difference between these two sides. The Pink Nightmare shut out in front of their home fans in the home opener here in Klein Avenue. Disappointing result for them. Makes the ASC East a lot more interesting, though. We'll have to see if the Hydra can get a win here to make it 1 win for each team. And we'll be right back again with our match of the day, a 10 p.m. kickoff between the Terminators and the Pioneers in the NSC South. Full match highlights from this one to come, and that one in just a moment as we conclude our coverage on the National Soccer League Network. We'll see you all in just a short while.